Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Is silver in danger? Are we nearing the danger zone with prices extremely low compared to what it has been the past few months? Or are things looking upwards? That's what today's video is going to be talking about. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new because I do post daily videos. So I made a video earlier today sharing how the 2008 credit crisis, the financial meltdown that happened back then, was actually a very good indicator on what could happen now with silver prices. Not only is it almost identical of a situation, but things are more extreme now. See, in 2008, the credit crisis brought silver prices to extreme lows. But afterwards, after it blows over, when the markets recover, silver tends to rally extremely high up to the $50 range. And the same thing happened in the 70s. We saw $4 silver shoot up to $49 silver, actually $50 silver. So both times that silver's been $50 in the last 30, 40 years has been from a huge market collapse, a huge market meltdown. So this shows me that silver has a lot of potential. But what if things don't play out? Because every situation is going to have its own DNA, like the article said. Every situation is going to play out a little differently. So what if silver doesn't recover to the points that we intend it to? What would it look like? I think mainly silver, seen as a safe haven investment or a safe haven asset, is what brings it its pride and its glory and its true potential. But it's not just from money. It's not just from new money pumping into the system. It's not just from new investors or new stackers. I think primarily it has to do with supply and demand. Not only that, but the dollar index, what stock markets are doing, what the economy's like, but mainly supply and demand. And we've seen supply and demand come up a lot recently. I mean, the Royal Canadian Mint is shutting down their company for 2 weeks. We've seen the U.S. Mint run out of American Eagles. And we've seen a shortage several times this year. We know that they've been abandoning silver mines. The past 7 years, the top silver producers have been cutting back production of silver by the hundreds of millions of ounces. So there's definitely a very scarce amount of silver. So what is that going to entail for the future? I would love to hear your thoughts and I'm going to throw this video in a little bit different of a way. I'm gonna throw out some topics, and I want to hear your thoughts and your insight and your knowledge on it, because there is several different ways you can speculate this, and there's several different ways you can take this and break it down, because we really don't know. Since that unknown variable is there, that's why I like to talk about it, because we really don't know. Something else might happen, the 2020 presidential election, or something else, maybe COVID-19 blows over quicker than we first thought, or maybe it gets extremely worse. We don't know. So there's always the unknown variable that plays a big role in the game. So I would love to hear what you have to say about that. What is your theory on, where prices are headed? And I'm curious to hear what the major influencer is. Is it supply and demand? Is it stock market volatility? Is it the dollar index? Is it the recession that could be looming? So I do want to go a little bit into this recession talk, because this is something that is going to heavily affect our lives and our day-to-day lives. Not only is COVID-19 keeping us quarantined and all that, which is affecting our lives, but a recession, what that looks like, could be very ugly in the next coming, months or years. See, if we do go in a recession, expect precious metals to perform very well, but in an overall sense of security and well nature of the economy, it's not going to look so good. I couldn't imagine seeing us not become or not go into a recession after seeing the damage that COVID-19 has done, especially if things get worse. Especially if things get worse. See, we're just now starting to see the ripple effect of what a unstable economy is, or what it does to the environment. See, us being $24 trillion in debt, using more debt to get us out of debt, throwing some more debt into the economy and into these companies that are struggling so bad, central banks and the feds. No wonder why they hold gold and silver, because they're broke. Printing money is worthless because the dollar is worthless. Yes, they can print as much money as they want, but something that has real value cannot be created nor destroyed. That's what gold and silver is. If you want more gold and silver, you have to dig it out of the earth's crust, which is much harder to do than to just go to a printing press and keep it running over time, right? So where are these prices going? Higher or lower? Worst case scenario is stock markets become king to some extent. Stock markets start rallying, the dollar index grows stronger, which in return would take all the money out of precious metals and put them into those. See, people are very wishy-washy. There is a ping pong battle going on between precious metals and stocks. For some time, I did see, even when stock markets were setting record-breaking highs, I saw precious metals standing somewhat of a position in the markets, which is good, which shows that there is some backbone, there is some stability there. But what is it? And this is the second part of the video I wanted to go to, which kind of reflects upon what I'm just saying, is where is silver markets going? Where is the market of silver going to break apart from gold and from stock markets? When is it not going to depend on what other markets are doing for silver to rise or fall, regardless? Because silver is so highly attached to gold, when gold is doing something, silver is usually going to do the same thing. Now, I get that they're both precious metals, so they both can be seen in certain ways and in a certain light, but they have several different uses, extremely different uses. Gold is used more for coinage, more for bars, more for jewelry, where silver is used more for the industrial aspect and the technological aspect. So when are these markets going to have a life of their own, and can they, and will they? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, gold, and we can look historically. If we want to go historically, they always have had some fundamental purpose together. So looking forwards, I don't see it breaking too much apart, because without gold, there is no silver, basically, essentially, in a market, platform. A lot of people do diversify into both, which also makes it harder. But I definitely think that silver has much more potential. And we always talk about silver's volatility compared to gold. Silver's a lot more volatile than gold. Silver hits higher highs and lower lows than gold does. So if gold's up 20%, silver's usually going to be up 35, 40%. If gold's dropping 10%, silver's going to drop 20, 25%, which is that gives a lot of opportunity to the silver markets, but it also there's a lot more risk there. Now, that could entail a lot of investors to want to jump the gun on silver because there's more money to be made, but gold seems to be more of the backbone to the everyday person still to this day. And when I'm looking at newer investors, they're probably going to go towards gold before silver until they see that silver's cheaper, it's more affordable, there's more potential there. And then once you start learning about the silver shortages and everything that entails that with its potential, it's almost obvious to go towards silver. But for some reason, gold is always king in the beginning. I'm curious where what you started out as. What got you into precious metals? Was it gold first and then you found silver, or were you strictly silver, or were you into silver and then you switched to gold? What is it? I definitely think that silver has many more benefits than gold does, and that also is going to drive a lot of investors to it. And since it's cheaper, it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more affordable, right? I mean, you can still buy fractional gold that's somewhat affordable, but silver is affordable to the everyday person, where gold is more affordable to serious investors. You can hold $100,000 of gold in a shoebox. You cannot do that with silver. So there is some benefits to gold, but I'm still curious when they're going to have a life of their own. And what would that look like? For gold, I think it would still be pretty obvious, pretty natural what it already is doing. But silver, I think, could look a lot different since silver is used so highly in everything. So, anyways, just to recap a little bit, silver prices are definitely up in the air right now, depending on what the economy's doing. It could go a lot worse or it can get a lot better. We've seen the 2008 credit crisis and we've seen in the 70s, two different times when silver got dumped, drastically fell, but then it always hits $50 again. So we could be seeing that same pattern start to form right now. So that could be looking very, very bullish for precious metals. And I would just love to hear where you think these markets are going and when silver could separate from gold and what would that look like. So anyways, I appreciate you for tuning into this video. Everyone, every single person, especially if you stayed this long in the video, I truly appreciate you for tuning in, and just hearing me out. I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm looking forward to reading some of the comments in the comment section of the video as well. So make sure you smash the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I do post daily videos. I posted some other videos today, some very interesting videos. I went a little deeper into the 2008 credit crash and the 1970s and the recession and the Great Depression. So if you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very good video, very informative. It shows the charts and shows the patterns and everything that goes along with it. So anyways, thanks for tuning into this video. Make sure you smash the like button. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.